15 from Dr. Karni Singh Shooting Ranges in New Delhi. It's the final of the 10-meter air pistol event for women in the junior category. That's the age group between 18 and 21.
Consists of 2 series of 3 shots.
3 Indians and 1 Mongolian.
And that's the lineup. 3 Indians in the fray and a shooter from Mongolia, Mishil. But Shriya Gawande, Gauri Shoran and Sri Nivetha. The 3 Indians in the fray.
Ready, BRC 1. Take BRC 1.
Look at the qualifying score for the Indians. Gauri Shoran had shot a 380. Shriya shooting a 380 as well. 378 for Paramanantham. And Michelle shooting a 359. That's the shooter from Mongolia in your picture frames. In the commentary box, I'm Raman Banot, and with me, Digvijay Singh Dio.
Yes, Raman, very impressed with the scores which we have been seeing. 380 from Gauri Sharan and Shriya Gawande. This is what the senior squad is shooting at the moment. So clearly some very high level of shooting from the juniors, and that shows that the bench strength is pretty impressive.
Absolutely, and you compare with what happened in the youth category, where you had a Commonwealth Games silver medalist in qualifying. Malaika Goyal had shot a 375, was it? Yes, it was. And here you've got Gauri shooting a 380 in qualifying.
To give you a perspective, at the Asian Games, Hina Sidhu shot 382 and didn't make the final, just about. And the other Indian shooters shot 370 at 379. So you're shooting at a level which is at par with the Asian Games.
Absolutely, just tells you a clear picture. 374 is what Malaika had shot today, earlier this morning in qualifying. Got into the final, didn't have a great final. That was the youth category. Remember, this is the junior category. Shooters in the age group of 18 to 21.
And if you look back at the scores of the last 2 or 3 Olympic Games, a score of 380, 381 or 382 will put you into or close to an Olympic final.
So high quality shooting as far as the qualifying is concerned, but this is where the pressure tells. The last 20 shots in the final, this is where it could all go awry.
Yes, we've been seeing it all through this tournament. In fact, yesterday, no one expected the Iranian shooter Safari to actually go and win the gold when there were 4 other quota-placed holders in the fray, but he handled the pressure the best. The Indians cracked under pressure. Jitu Rai, in fact, finishing with bronze, that too only because this the shooter from Saudi Arabia, Raman, in fact, cracked on his last shot.
That's Paramanantham in your picture frames. This is the Mongolian shooter who's made the cut. That's Michelle.
Focus is not on the face.
Shot a 359, so she's been off the pace in qualifying. But remember, there were just 4 shooters in the fray in the qualification, so all 4 of them making it to the final.
And this is a completely different ball game. It doesn't matter what you shot in qualifying. All you need to do is get into the final, and there it starts at 0. And it depends on that particular shot, that particular moment. We were all surprised yesterday to see a series of 9 from Jitu Rai. He's someone we expected to be shooting the high 10s, but that ultimately came Gurpreet Singh's way, and even then he could not catch up with the Iranian, who kept shooting steady scores apart from the last 2 shots.
Absolutely. A lot expected from this final as far as Gauri Shoran is concerned. Shriya in the second lane. This is Paramanantham, the 3rd Indian shooter in the fray for this final.
In fact, at the last World Cup of the year in Gabala, she actually shot as part of the Indian senior team.
Ready, BSC 3. Okay, they are standing by for the introduction.
Now, quick formal introductions in order
ready, beauty,
for the shooters.
PA system audio, please. Yeah, ready, start.
Ladies and gentlemen, National Rifle Association of India welcomes you to Dr. Karni Singh Shooting Ranges, New Delhi, India, for the 8th Asian Airgun Championship 2015. For the finals of the Air Pistol Junior Women event, on the firing point A, winning a gold medal at ZEC in Air Pistol event in the year 2014, with her best scores 386, a 20 years old representing India, we welcome Shreya Gawande.
Out. Ready to.
We've
With
had
the
a
best
lot of
scores,
good air rifle shooters from
380,
Maharashtra. But now
winning
we're
a
also
bronze
seeing
medal
with
in
Shreya, a
ISSF
pistol
Fire.
shooter
Junior
from
Cup
Maharashtra. We've had
held in
Ronak Pandit, who was in fact
2015.
our
A silver
expert
medal in 24 meters
on the telecast
shooting
yesterday, but
ropes
he was one of the
at
good
Czech
shooters
Republic in year
from
2015.
Maharashtra.
An
This is
18
Gauri
years
Sharan
old,
from Haryana.
representing India, we welcome Gauri Chevron.
Out. Ready, camera 3.
All the shooters, in fact, have got some good
Winning a
preparations,
silver medal
Raman, because
at 24
earlier this year they
winning
went down
of
to the
shooting
International
ropes
Junior Cup in Seoul, which is
held
the
at Czech
International
Republic
Shooting
in year
Federation's
2000
annual competition for junior shooters. India did very well there. In fact, we won 17
best
medals there,
score,
and just shows that the focus on
a
youth
20 years old
is paying dividends. In fact,
representing
sitting in the
India.
stands is
Welcome
Jaspal Rana himself,
Shri
one of the
Nivetha.
legends of Indian shooting.
Out.
Sri Niveta Parmanatham, also part of the Indian junior squad, but earlier this year,
Ready,
and a
three.
couple of months
With the
back,
best
in fact, her scores were so high that she
on
was selected for the
firing
senior
point
squad.
as 370.
It just tells you that Indian shooting is in safe hands in the days to come.
Women, junior and youth as well, representing Mongolia, a 20 years old. We welcome Teran Jagmeet Michelle.
Out.
Not a lot of international
Ready, camera
exposure
two.
for the Mongolian shooter, so this would be an outing more to
The jury
garner
member
experience
in
and see how
charge
she
of
can
the
handle
finals is
the big match pressure of a
Mr.
final.
D.S. Chande
Yes, and
from
her
India.
qualifying score shows that she's not used to the stage. But
The
then
chief range officer
these tournaments
for
are
this
very
finals
rare. You
is
have a lot of tournaments
Mr.
in shooting for the
Syed
senior
Wajidali
shooters,
from India.
but not too many for the junior shooters. That's why you see all the Indian shooters who are in the junior squad have all come and competed, while others have not turned up. This is valuable competition. Ultimately, you want to ensure that
Ready,
when
camera two.
the transition happens between the junior squad to the senior squad,
All
they're not
finalists
undercooked.
will shoot now 2 series of 3 shots.
In fact, Raman, I was
Each
talking to
fire
Jaspal Rana,
at a time
and he used to say that when he was growing up and he was their age, there was no one to guide him. Just imagine how good it is for shooters like Shreya, Gauri Sharan, and Parmanath to actually have a junior world champion, someone who's won multiple Asian Games gold medals, Commonwealth gold medal, as their coach sitting behind them and guiding them, not just about the finer points of shooting, but how to tackle the mental aspect.
That's so very important in shooting. Can you take the pressure? Can you soak in the pressure? Can you keep your concentration going?
Focused. It is not.
In fact, a lot of the junior teams have got established shooters as coaches. If you look at the air rifle team, Deepali Deshpande, Olympian at Athens and a part of the troika of Indian air rifle shooters in the 90s and 2000s with Anjali Bhagwat and Suma Shiru. She's the chief coach for the junior team. If you look at the trap and double trap team, Vikram Chopra is a coach and he's guiding the youngsters through their paces.
And I think that's the right way forward. You see that happening across sport, where you're looking at grooming the juniors from in the technical aspect, in the mental aspect. Because when you get into the senior team, pretty much your basics are in place.
Absolutely, and look at the scores we have seen today in qualifying. There's absolutely no difference between the junior squad and the senior squad. And perhaps if there's a moment where you know that some of the seniors are not fit, you can send the junior squad and expect them to put in a performance.
Right, the first series to get underway. This is going to be 150 seconds, 3 shots in this opening series from the shooters. Gawande is first off the block with a 10.8. Sharon gets a 10.6. The Mongolian with a poor 8.6, but a 10.4 from Parmanatham.
Okay, ready, BRC 3.
So that's an
BRC
interesting
one.
start. But Gawande was first off the blocks.
No,
And what a shot, 10.8
BRC
of the very
one,
first
ready,
shot.
BRC 1.
She's in the zone. She's absolutely in the zone.
Yeah.
To start off with a 10.8 on your first
No,
shot,
no.
we've seen it all throughout these 3 days of competition that the first shot is generally a 10.3, 10.4 just to get your sights aligned, see if you're seeing the target well. But Shreya
9.8.
Gawande absolutely smashing it with 10.8.
Gets a
8.2.
8.2 in the second shot. That was a disappointing shot. Even Gauri getting a 9.8, 9.4 for Parmanantham.
Oh,
and a
10.4
10.4 from
Mongolian.
Mongolian. Suddenly catching up.
Ready, BRC 4.
So,
take BRC 4.
Looks
put
to
the
be a very
Mongolian score,
topsy-turvy
please.
final in the making.
Very poor second shot from Gawande. That was a surprise.
Fire.
Shreya Gawande dropping down to tied third position with the Mongolian, Michelle. What's she going to do with the third shot now? Still about a minute left on the clock.
8.2 is something very, very low.
Look at her just trying to calm her nerves, slow down her breathing, so that she can be very still when she gets a
10.7.
shot off. 10.7 in the meantime from Paramanantham. 10.2 from the Mongolian. That's wonderful
Okay,
from Ashil.
ready.
10.3 for Gauri.
Take
Gawande still
BRC3.
taking her time.
Put
Finally gets a
Paramanantham.
shot off and gets a 10.1, but with that
You have the side scope. Put the
good
side
first series, Paramanantham has moved into second place.
But Shreya will be taking a sigh of relief because obviously to go from a 10.7 and then to an 8.2 is a swing of 2.5 points. So clearly she wanted to focus. She took her time. She's got her
Ready, BRC.
concentration back, getting a 10.1. Knows that there's a long way to go in this competition. There's going to be no elimination after 8 shots.
Absolutely, just 4 shooters on the range for this final, which means the eliminations will start from the 16th shot onwards.
Still 13 shots to go, Raman. So the pressure is not going to hit till the 12th shot.
As this is the second series of 3 shots each shooter in 150 seconds. Sharan shoots a 9.3. Gawande gets a 9.6, so that's not the best of starts for the second series. 9.9 from the Indian. The Mongolian manages the 9.4, so no score in the 10s in the first shot of the second series.
And that's pretty rare considering that this is a final, Raman. You expect everyone to be shooting high 10s or something above 10.2, 10.3.
Gauri's in second spot at the moment. Shoots a 9.5 as Gauri Sharan. The other shooters taking their time with this second shot. This could be crucial for Shreya Gawande.
She has been rather
8.8.
inconsistent.
The Mongolian shooting an 8.8, Paramanantham shooting at 9.8. Is that going to be enough to keep her in the lead?
Paramanantham.
Finally,
Okay, put.
Shreya gets her shot
Put the
off
side
and
score
shoots
also.
a 10.1, so that's a good shot. But Paramanantham currently in the lead, but only just 0.7 ahead of Gauri Sharan. Gauri shoots a 10.5, that's wonderful shooting from her.
Yeah.
One tends to forget that in air rifle you're used to seeing high scores, but in pistol what happens is because you're shooting with one hand and there's no support, even the slightest
ready,
of variations
BRC2.
can see you jump from a 10
BRC2.
to a 8.
But a 10.4 in the meantime
Yeah.
from Gawande. That's handy, which means that Gauri Sharan moves into the lead. She got a 10.5 in that previous,
Okay,
the
put
last
the
shot that he got in the
side
second
score.
series. And she is just 0.3 ahead of Paramanantham.
Use the bottom score. Ready, BRC3. Put. Yeah.
It seems to be a battle between the three Indians, and obviously
Bottom
experience
score.
is showing. The
Ready,
fact is
BRC1.
Gauri Sharan has been on the
Take
circuit for a
BRC1,
while.
put the score.
So has Paramanantham. She's in fact represented the senior team, so that is an added motivation.
After a very
Ready,
strong
BRC4.
start to this
Take BRC4,
final with a
Mongolian.
10.8 that she shot, she's just fallen off the pace, has Gawande. Still in third, but just 0.8 behind the leader. So she could catch up. Just 6 shots gone, 14 still left.
And 10 shots for the elimination to kick in.
Now it's going to be a series of single shots. Gawande gets a 10.4. 10.1 from the Mongolian. That's good shooting. Paramanantham
Oh,
gets a low
8.9.
8.9. And that could
Okay, ready,
see a
BRC1.
shift as
Take
far as the
BRC1.
second spot is concerned. Gauri Sharan moves into second. Shreya
not Gauri
Gawande
Sharan.
is in the lead. That's very
This is
good
not
shooting
Gauri
from
Sharan.
Shreya Gawande. She's in the lead now.
Yeah.
The lady in your picture frames.
Yeah.
The total score of 69.6.
She's found her groove again. But this just shows how fickle the sport is. We were talking about how
BRC2, put this girl now.
Paramanantham had actually
Yeah.
got a good start and was in the lead. One bad shot and again an 8.9, and that is what Jaspal Rana and his team will be keeping an
Out.
eye out,
Ready,
because
BRC3.
you shouldn't go
Take
beyond 9.
BRC3, put
You should
Paramanandam.
not go below 9, especially in a competition of this nature. This is an Asian Championship. Ultimately, there will be ranking points on offer as well.
Ten point seven from Gawande. That's good shooting. Gauri Sharan gets a 10.3, 10.5 for Paramanantham. That's a good recovery after the 8.9 she'd shot in the previous series.
Come on, Mongolia.
And 10,
10.
from the Mongolian Michelle.
Okay.
What
ready,
this has done
BRC2?
is
Who's
that
leading?
with every shot the Indians are shooting,
Gowande.
they're in
Gowande
fact
is
pulling
leading.
away
Ready,
from
BRC1,
the
take
Mongolian.
BRC1. She's leading.
So Shriya Gawande in the lead. She's now pulling out all the stops. Shot her 10.4 in the
Sharan is
previous
next.
shot.
Out.
Got a
Ready,
10.7
BRC2.
in the
Take
next
BRC2
shot
put.
that she's got.
Okay.
She was the highest in those in that
Loose.
series of
Ready,
two shots
BRC3.
with
Take
21.1.
BRC3 put. Paramanandam. Put the side score also. Yes. Then we will go to
So
that.
the three Indian shooters among the top
Okay.
three, the
Lose the
Mongolian
bottom super,
trailing
ready
now,
for,
and that
take
gap
four.
is widening.
This girl
It's
also Mongolia.
1.9 at the moment.
She's been very erratic. Some shots have been really good, but some shots have really been in the low 8s and 9s, and you need to be consistent at this level, Raman, and that's the reason why this is such a
Closing
intense
and
sport.
10.5 for Gauri Sharan. Gawande gets a 10.2. 10 for Paramanantham. And the Mongolian putting pressure on herself, shoots a poor 6.6.
Yeah.
You could make out
Ready,
from her
BRC4?
face the
Take
tension.
BRC4, put it. Scorer.
It's clearly evident.
Yeah. Please.
She is new to this stage, and clearly she does seem rattled with the 10s the Indians are shooting, and she knows that with every shot they're really pulling away. But at least she got on the target. She got a 6.6. Yesterday, the Japanese shooter in the air
they
rifle,
showed, no, she was
in the
closing her eyes
air
and
pistol,
shooting.
he actually missed the target completely and got a 0.
Yeah, she closed it. You can really check. Out. Ready,
You
BRC1.
clearly see her closing her eyes, just trying to focus before she shoots. That's an interesting way to just calm her nerves and slow her breathing down. That's something the shooters try and do before they take that shot off.
In fact, I was talking to Jitu Rai yesterday after the event, and he was saying that even one straight thought coming into your mind can throw your gun off target.
8.1.
8.1 from Michelle, the Mongolian. 9.8 from Gawande, 9.9 for Paramanantham, but a high 10.6
9
from Sharan. That's a good shot from Gauri Sharan.
Okay. Ready, ready,
That
BRC3.
is going to put her in the lead.
BRC3, 10.6 put her. Yeah.
This Paramanantham shot on 9.9 in the previous shot that she took. And she is in third at the moment is Paramanantham.
Ready? Put.
Gauri Sharan in the lead at the moment and barely in the lead by just
Put the side
0.6
score.
ahead of Gawande.
Looks like a 1, 2, and 3 coming up for India, but for Gauri Sharan and for Shreya Gawande, this is very crucial because
Ready, bottom super.
the Asian
loose.
Championship is coming up in Kuwait at the end of
Ready,
October and
BRC1.
November, and they're part of the Indian junior team for that. It doesn't matter what competition you're shooting. It's about how you keep your composure in the final, because it's very rare to enter a final at the top
9.5,
level, and there
10.1,
this experience will hold
9.4,
them in good stead.
10.
You know then that you've got to correct yourself if you get a bad shot off.
Absolutely. Gawande in the meantime getting a
Ready,
healthy
BRC.
10.1,
Ready, BRC1.
and that
Take
is going to put
BRC1.
her in
Put
the lead
Gawande.
ahead of Sharan. So
Yeah.
the lead is trading. In fact, they're tied for the top spot, are Gawande and
Put the side
Sharan
score.
at 110.4
Put the
each.
side score.
Gawande not letting go.
And even Paramanantham has actually not yet out of it at the moment. She's just 1.4 behind. So a couple of
Ready,
good
BRC2?
shots, and we are seeing that the top shooters
BRC2?
are prone to making a couple of errors. It's about
Ready,
capitalizing
BRC2?
on those errors. Just be consistent, shoot
No,
those
no,
10s
no.
because you know that somebody's going to make a mistake and get you back in the game.
Look at the gun wavering. Just tells you the longer you hold it in that position, the more difficult it gets. A 10.6 from Gawande. Gauri gets a 9.7. 10.4 from the Mongolian. That's good shooting. And a 10 from Paramanantham.
So once again, the shooter in third place
Ready,
has
BRC3?
actually closed the gap
Paramanandam,
between
please.
her and the shooter in second place, Shreya Gawande.
Yes,
side score
Paramanantham
also.
is in third at the moment, but she's just 1 point behind Shreya Gawande, who's in second. And the difference between
Ready,
Shreya
BRC1?
and Gauri Sharan
Put.
is just 0.1.
Yeah.
So it's really close at the top between the top three.
And it could actually go into that
Use the
final
bottom
shot,
super. Ready,
and
BRC2.
we could see something spectacular happening. Yesterday, We were all hoping for Jitu Rai to be on that podium. He was really trailing the shooter from Saudi Arabia, who cracked under pressure and shot a 6 or a 7.
Yes, and Jitu managed to get onto the podium. Finished with the bronze. With the pre-tournament favourite. 8.7 from Gauri Sharan. She'd be disappointed with that. And 9.4 for Gawande. That should give her the lead. 9.2 from the Mongolian. And Paramanantham shoots a 9.9. So that 8.7 could cost Gauri Sharan. In fact, she has now slipped down to third. Because remember, the difference between her and Paramanantham was just 1.1. So with that poor 8.7, she's now slipped down to third as Gauri Sharan. But still in the mix, because the difference isn't too much between her, Gawande and Paramanantham.
It's just 0.6, just 0.6 between the top 3 shooters. So now we've seen Paramanantham, who was way off the pace. She's picked up a game even as the others have dropped. There's not been spectacular shooting, but she's just getting those scores while the rest drop, and now she's back in the game. 0.6 in it. One shot could change it.
Good shooting by this youngster. She's just 18 years old. Sri Nivetha Paramanantham. Look at the focus.
Sorry.
A 10.4 from Shreya Gawande. Sharan gets a 10. 9.4 from the Mongolian, but 10.6 from Paramanantham. And that is going to narrow down the gap at the top to what? Just 0.3.
We are still 1 point separates the top 3. This is anyone's game at the moment, but Paramanantham is raising her game just as we approach the business end, Raman. And the pressure is showing on Shreya and on Gauri Sharan.
Absolutely. I tell you what, if you're looking at it on your television screens, it just seems to be so simple. You raise the pistol and you shoot, but to hold it in that position, one-handed, a pistol weighing almost a kilo and a half, yeah. 1.5 kgs, that pistol's weighing that. The thoughts in your mind making that pistol weigh 10 times that weight of 1.5 kgs, it's not easy.
And even the slightest tremor, Raman, can see a shot go from a 10 to a 7 or a 6.
Gauri gets a 10.5. Shreya gets a 10.7. That's good shooting. Poor 8.9 from Paramanantham. The Mongolian gets a 10.5 in.
Okay.
So what does that do? It slips. It makes
ready, BRC1.
Paramanantham slip
Take
down to
BRC1.
third. But Shreya Gawande, with some very consistent shooting over the last 3 rounds, has actually moved into the lead, and a healthy lead at that.
Mongolian score.
Yes, Paramanantham lost 1.8 points on that shot, and from being in second place, she now trails the leader by 2.1, Raman.
Put the side score also.
As to who secures the 4th position. As of now,
At the moment, Michelle of Mongolia is in
the bottom
4th,
super.
and this is going to be the deciding shot, the first elimination shot coming up in this women's 10-meter air pistol junior final.
It's a foregone conclusion at the moment. Difference of more than 7 points.
Ready, camera 2.
So,
Lose the side
barring the
also.
3 Indians not getting a
Take
shot
camera
off,
2. Take
the
camera
Mongolian is going to exit this competition.
Ten 10.6 from Gawande. That's good. She's first off the blocks in this crucial shot. 10.5 from Gauri Sharan. That's good. Paramanantham taking her time, shooting a 10.4. The Mongolian gets a 9.8, but it's not going to be enough to
Ready,
keep her
BRC4.
in the
She will
competition.
be out. Ready, BRC4. Okay.
A difference of more than
Put it.
8, Raman. That 6.6 completely. Even though she didn't have too much of a chance, but that 6.6 completely killed all her hopes of, in fact, fighting for a medal. Healthy lead for Shreya Gawande now. She's pulled off a healthy lead with those 10.6, 10.7s.
Now the other score.
So the Mongolian will be happy with the kind of experience she's got by competing in this final, but really not among the medal hopefuls. It is going to be a 1, 2, 3 for India, but in which order? Well, we'll find out in the next 4 shots.
Yes, let's see if they can match the qualification, because generally what we see in qualification does not translate into the final. In qualification, Gauri Sharan shot 380, Shreya Gawande shot 380, and Paramanantham shot 378. Will it be in that order
put it.
as we finish this competition? We don't know.
10.4.
Gauri gets a 10.4.
Oh,
8.3 from
8.3.
Gawande. That could cost her. In fact, I'm sure it's going to cost her the lead at the moment. 10.7 from
10.7.
Paramanantham. That's good shooting. So
BRC3,
that
take
one
BRC3
poor
for
shot
Paramanandam.
sees Shriya Gawande slip down to third from her top spot.
And Paramanantham was there. She got off that perfect shot. And that deficit of
Goes the bottom
2.3,
super.
2.4,
Ready,
she's actually
BRC2.
moved up to second place.
So now what's the difference? Marginal difference of 0.7 between
BRC1.
0.7
BRC1.
between
This goal also.
Paramanantham and Sharan. Shriya Gawande would be disappointed with that poor 8.3 that she shot in the last series. She slipped down to third now, but not a lot of difference. Just
the bottom
0.8 the
super.
difference between the top three.
Yes, but this is the elimination shot. She has to hold her nerve and get off a perfect shot, or else from the lead she's going to be on the third place on the podium.
Pressure on Gawande. She gets a 10.5. 10.7 from Sharan. Paramanantham now under pressure. She generally tends to shoot last among the three Indians. Gets a 10.7. That's great shooting under pressure from the 18-year-old. And that will ensure that she stays on to fight for the gold medal.
Absolutely, 10.7, 10.7.
Okay, out.
She's pulled it over when she needed it.
Absolutely, but that will be the end of the road for Shriya Gawande. Oh, disappointment for the 20-year-old.
One shot, Raman. One shot changed that 8.3. She was leading the competition before that, but that one shot, and at that exactly that same moment, Paramanantham raised the game.
And that one bad shot of 8.3 has cost her a chance on a shot at gold. She'll have to settle for bronze, and she looks disappointed. Emotions writ large on her face, but a bronze medal it will be for her at the 8th Asian Airgun Championship. Now, two more shots to determine whether Sharan or Paramanantham takes the gold.
0.7, that's it. Very difficult to predict. This has been a very topsy-turvy final because nobody has been consistent. And there, even as I speak, Sharan has shot an 8.2. So that's the lead for Paramanantham. What a charge we are seeing from her. Raman, what a charge. Nowhere in the picture, down at third position. The last three shots outstanding. And now she leads by 1.6.
Put the side score.
Which other sport gives you so much thrills, Raman?
Hard to imagine, but for the moment, let's stay with shooting.
Use the bottom super. Ready, BRC2.
What a topsy-turvy final, but Paramanantham currently in the lead. Can she hold a nerve, or will Gauri Sharan pull off something spectacular in this last shot?
Okay, ready, BRC3.
You could end up seeing the score be better than the men's air pistol final.
Camera 3, take camera 3.
That is saying a lot considering this has been a very shaky sort of final.
Oh.
8.9 from Sharan. This is the final for Paramanantham to take, and she shoots a 10. That's going to be good enough to give her the gold medal.
BRC3. Take BRC3, put the score.
Well, you've got to give credit to Paramanantham because she's always fired last in every series among the Indians. But it's paid her dividends with 200.7 as her score, better than what we've seen the boys shoot. Well, this is going to be a gold medal, a deserved one for her. Silver is what Gauri Sharan will have to settle for.
Not just any boys, two quota placed holders, Raman. But nerves of steel, because it's very difficult when you have the crowd cheering and when she's the last to shoot, the pressure's actually on her because everyone's cheering, you're having clapping happening, hooting happening. But she's shown the way she climbed up from the bottom. She held her nerve when it mattered.
Got to give her credit. This young 18-year-old's done exceedingly well, and a deserved gold medal winner, Sri Nivetha Paramanantham,
Okay,
clinches gold in the
Ready, camera
10-meter
two.
air pistol event
Take camera
for
two,
women
put.
in the junior category. Silver medalist there, Gauri Sharan,
Okay.
was in the hunt till the very end. That penultimate shot was what really put paid to her chances.
What time?
And from there on, you knew that it's going to be a
1:30, okay,
long way
brilliant.
back for her if she were to challenge Paramanantham for
Ready,
gold.
3.
Yes, and The shot number 17 and 18 for Paramanantham was the ones which did it. 10.7, 10.7. Even as the rest dropped, she
Ready,
raised her
cam two.
game at those crucial moments. And that is
Take
the
cam two.
hallmark of a good shooter.
Yeah,
It doesn't
good.
matter whatever you
see the
shoot in
bronze?
the 10th or 11th shots. When it matters in the crunch situation, can you replicate what you've been
Out.
shooting in training? And she did
Okay,
just
ready,
that.
3.
So the two shooters who were tied at 380 in qualifying, Gauri Sharan
Yeah,
and
ready,
Shreya
4.
Gawande,
Take
in
4,
the
put
end
it.
having to settle for silver
Final
and bronze,
confirmation of the
while
scores.
Sri Niveta Paramanantham goes on and clinches gold. A quick confirmation of the result in your picture frames, and that's how the medals have been decided in the women's 10-meter air pistol junior category.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. We'll wait for the presentation at 1:30. Okay, loose graphics. Ready, beauty. Take beauty.